the easiest doodle bird you will ever make. My watercolors are the Viburnum Art. It's this really cool wood palette box. I love it. I am so excited. My husband got this for me for my birthday. It's a little bit more expensive than what I would normally buy. It was nice to have it as a treat. I do have links down below in the information box how to make cute little avocado birds. Now I call them avocado birds because basically they're shaped kind of like an avocado. You're making a tapered shape-ish, an oval-ish shape. Do them different sizes. Have the narrow tip end facing different directions. I'm going to put 5 on here, I think. Let's see. Maybe a really big one right there. I'm going to make these little guys into really cute birds. And the way you get them to be really cute birds is you start putting in beaks. So let's see here. This one's actually going to be looking back, like over its shoulder, back, like that. This one I think is looking up that way. This one's looking, this one's going to be looking kind of straight at you. I'm not sure where they're, where these ones are perched. And this one is looking down. So maybe there's some branches that they're on. So I'm going to draw a branch in that's kind of like this, and maybe it's sending out a little extra branch going that way. Now these branches could be weeds, and I think this one is actually holding on to something down here like that. And this one like that. See, you can do all kinds of things here. You're not limited. I am really enjoying doodling. So, little foot there, and a little foot here. Kind of curl its little toes around. And so that one's like this, 2 little legs with his little feet. This one, let's see, 1 foot is reaching over like that, and the other foot like that. These guys, they don't have to make sense. Look at that. They don't have to make sense. I love it. I love it. I'm going to thicken up their legs just a wee bit so that way you can see the difference in the leg and the branches. Little doodle birds. Now, the thing that makes these super cute, doing their little black eyes, after they're dry, we will be able to go in and put a little white ring around each eye. Make that a little bigger. and it just increases the cute factor. I am going to put in a blue background for the sky. It's going to be soft and light. I will dry it really quick, and then we will wet each of these birds separately and drop in colors and let them flow. First up is the sky. I am using a number 8 round faux squirrel, and I'm going to grab some ultramarine after I get this whole thing wet except for the birds. And just drop it in. That. Whoops. Grabbed a little Prussian blue in there too. Oh, I like that. I like how that's running down. Giving you a little bit of texture. There we go. Just getting this background in. I'm not, again, not worried about making everything perfect. Just putting some color in around those birds. So when I put the bright colors in on the birds, there's a little bit of a background that they're going over. Just blop that paint in. The paint will go where the paper is wet. So since I didn't put a lot of water in on the birds, see how this is going to go? The paint is only going where the paper is wet. This is a fun exercise, kind of making a maze for your paint. Let it run down. All right, I'm going to put a really wet, highly pigmented chunk of watercolor right up here at the top. And then I'm going to go like this and just let it drip down. The paper is starting to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and like help it just a little bit here. Just help it a little bit. Let it run down. All the way up around the edge of that little bird. I don't want any dry bits right up against it. I don't want the little white bits of paper showing through. And now I'm going to take just some plain water, and I'm sprinkling some plain water onto that sky, onto that background. Almost like stars. I am going to go ahead and dry this right now. And the reason why I'm drying it now is I want to save the position that those little white splatters are in. This is mostly dry. And I am not going to do anything else with the background. I'm going to start putting in these little birds. So first bird here I'm going to do is this big one right here. And I'm going to give it a nice little coating of water. But I'm not taking the water outside of the bird. And now what I want is Pyrrole Crimson. I'm going to put some Pyrrole Crimson right up here on the top of the head. So red. Then I'm going to go with this really pretty orange. Orange. Yellow. Now, I'm not keen on that bit going outside the bird. Green. And I'm going to use the sap green because I want this kind of really bright, green. Blue. Take a little ultramarine blue. And purple, and we're going to use that dioxazine purple, I think. Now, some of these colors that work their way outside, I can go like this and I can kind of get them wet and then dab them off. Just like that. That worked. This is sort of a red to purple. I think I'm going to start this one right here is going to be a purple to red. So we're going to start at the purple and work our way down to the red. Get that water. So we'll start at the purple, and that's the dioxazine purple. Ooh. And then I'm going to use the sky blue. Oh, yeah. And then we'll still go with that sap green. Green. Yellow, and I'm going to go with a warmer yellow this time. It's kind of the deep yellow. And then the orange. And then the red. How's that? Like it. I need to get the little bird wet. There's a lot of water there, so I need to let that soak for a second and pick up some of that water. You don't want puddles. So I think this one is going to end up being a yellow, blue, green bird, or yellow, green, blue bird. Yellow. And then the ultramarine. Blue. And let's see if it makes us a green, eh? Like little Easter eggs. Maybe a little bit down here. Like that. And then sort of an orangey an orangey cheek. Kind of like a parakeet. That's pretty. I'm staying with these very brilliant, bright colors, not mixing them down. All right, I think this one's going to have a blue head, sky blue head. Like that. Like that, sky blue. Give it a little bit more right here. The paint is like wicking up. That's pretty. And then for the back half of this bird, I think we're going to go with a violet. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Will this flow back and forth a little bit? That's kind of pretty. This one is going to be more of an orange and yellow. Even though it's got a lot of that blue sticking in, I'm going to go with that orange. And just wipe that up down here at the bottom. At a puddle outside. There. And that yellow. And this yellow actually has some opacity to it, so I need to wipe that off of the eyes. Like that. I like it. And then there's going to be just a little speck of rose, I think. Make some little rose cheeks on this one. Maybe put a little rose spot there. Fun. Rose spot on that one too. Let this dry, and I will come back and we'll do some doodling. We might add a little more watercolor. We might not. But I want to doodle, so let's get to that point next. Enjoy your time doodling, coloring, painting, whatever makes you happy. These little rainbow avocado birds, they make me happy. Just hang out with me here for a few more minutes while I show you finishing the birds, and then you can do whatever you want. I'm still using my fountain pen with the Noodler's ink because I might go back in with more watercolor. All right, now you can see where the watercolor sort of slipped outside of the lines, right? So what I'm going to do is use that as a feature, not a flaw. So this little guy is going to end up with cute little curly feathers off the back here where that watercolor slipped outside. They're going to get a swoopy swirl like this, and maybe one sticking up. Just because it makes me happy and it makes me giggle. Down here off of the back end, you can see there's kind of some feathers for where the tail is. A little bit of color where the tail is. So he's getting a cute little tail like that. I am going to put a wing on. And just make it up as I go. We're doodling. We are not worried about things being perfect. That is great. I love it. I love it. This one looks like the wings are actually on the outside showing up. I like that. And you don't see their little tail. Their tail is sticking out behind them. This one You don't see any tail, and I'm okay with that, but I think I want to put a little tail on. But first I'm putting wing on. Just doodling, not making it perfect. And I'm going to stick a little edge of the wing sticking out up here. Just because. Just because I can. And this one is going to get a little tail sticking out the back end. But they do have some cute little feathers, or it could be maybe they're wearing a flower crown. That could be a flower crown. This one, their little wing is going off the back like that. Just because. And maybe a little bit of the wing showing up on that side. And we're going to put a bit of a feathery tail back here. Doodly tail, not worried about perfection. Just adding another little feather there. Little guy right here has a tail like a flat or a wedge type tail. The wing, like this. And a little bit of it coming around this way. All right, we've got a white UMN 153 or Uniball Signo. I'm going to put a white circle around each of the eyes. It just pops, makes these little guys look so adorable. I don't know why it does it, but it does. It just gives them so much personality. I'm going to put a little speck of white on the beaks. You could stop right there. You don't have to go any farther. I will be doodling, I will be coloring, and all of those things. I'm not going to be talking anymore. I will come back after I do a speed up on this bit. So I'm going to start doodling and enjoying my process. I hope that you enjoy your process too. Oh, after I did my doodling with the Noodler's ink and my fountain pen, I decided to use some colored pencils. So I have a big set of the Brute Fruner square colored pencils, and I just enjoyed coloring this. I hope that you had fun. If you go and try doing something like this, I'd love to see your artwork. Tag me at Deliberately Creative on social media, and I will find it. I am really happy to be here to be able to do this, to share with you, and I hope that you'll share with me too. Remember, go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.